What is going on? You are watching and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. I'm your host, Steve V. This is episode 397. Stevie, I meant. And alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful this evening. I'm refreshed from our long weekend. How are you?
Yeah, me too. Feeling very refreshed after Labor Day weekend, and we took Tuesday off, but we are back strong. We have so much to talk about. We are live on our brand new platform, Vocal, over here Wednesday nights on Hump Day, every Wednesday night over here at Vocal. So happy to be here, you know, live in front of a live virtual audience. Hi, James. And it's a little bit harder to see who's here unless they type in the chat section. So type away and we'll shout you out, ask questions. And that might be something we want to share with our partners over at Vocal. But we had a great Labor Day weekend. Did you, Kodi? And one of the highlights was going roller skating at the Disco Oasis in Central Park last Friday. How much fun did we have?
It was so much fun. I thought I was going to fall so many times. Did you think you were going to fall?
At first, I did. I definitely did. And then it all came back to me. It's all coming back to me. And I hate her, too.
Okay, Celine.
I don't even like Celine.
Are we singing Celine tonight?
We are not singing Celine tonight.
You know I got some Celine in me, honey. Okay.
It all came back to me and then I was weaving in and out. You saw me weaving in and out.
You were really good.
Spinning a couple times. I never fell, except when I almost fell. Your boyfriend was trying to have me redo a shot. I said, no, we got it. And when I know I got a shot, I got it. But he wanted me to repeat it. And I said, no, the director said, cut. I'm good. Print it.
But who's the director again?
I was the self-director, but I listened to your boyfriend, Joe, who made me do another spin, and I almost fell, but I grabbed onto the side of the wall and grabbed myself before I fell. But boy, so much fun. Disco hit after disco hit. 80s vibes from Madonna into the Groove, George Michael, to 90s, Black Box, and so many hit after hit. I think I was living for reminiscing of what it felt like back in the day when I used to go to the roller skating rink in the 80s, to being in Central Park in the open air and looking at all the buildings, to just the music and being with you guys was so much fun. What was your favorite part of the whole experience?
It was just amazing. And the music was so good.
Oh my God.
And like you said, it came right back to me. And it was just like riding a bike or riding roller skates. I don't know what either one, whatever you want to say. And I think that just being there with you guys and being able to I felt like I was reliving my youth, kind of, sort of. I was young again.
Yes, that's exactly what I felt like too, which was so much fun. I just couldn't say enough about it. It's still there if you come to New York City for the next couple of weeks, I believe. It's called Disco Oasis, and it's a lot of fun. Check it out.
These are good times.
These are the times. These are the good times. Yes, absolutely.
Did they play that? They played everything.
They played it before our segment. So before we got on the segment before. Absolutely. Shout out to Oakland, California's Pride, happening this Sunday, September 11th. That's right. Pride Fest in Oakland was born in 2021. I can't believe it's not that old. But, you know, Oakland, Kodi, has really stepped up, from restaurant scenes to the gay scene to so many amazing activities, beer gardens, and so on and so forth. I just love it every time I go home. And they have this amazing Pride Fest happening with Big Frida on the ticket.
I love them.
One of my favorites, Crystal Waters, will be performing, and I just love Crystal Waters. She's
Can we make it over there?
I want to. You know, my sister is going. Shout out to my sister and her friends. So they will be representing. But if anybody's going to Pride Fest, let us know what you think. And we want to hear about it. Also, one of our listeners said he is going to a really cool pool party this weekend, Friday, September 9th and Saturday, September 10th, called Inappropriate Party with the Stars. And it's featuring all these porn stars like Alessio Vega, Rio Grande, Holden Tudix, Sean Knight, Michael Roman,
Two dicks.
What?
That's unheard of.
And Maverick, your host. It's at the Parliament Resort, and we asked him to give us the lowdown on this amazing inappropriate pool party happening that I wish I could go, but sounds so much fun. So let us know on that. Let us know what you're doing. And also, before we get started, Kodi and I have spent the last couple of weeks, as well as Joe, Kodi's boyfriend, eating in style with our sponsor at home, mind you, with our sponsor named Gobble. For the whole month of September, we want to tell you about Gobble. And Gobble is a meal delivery service that brings you everything you want in a perfect meal, all the ingredients you need, including the sauces. And all you do is in 15 minutes, you whip it up in your kitchen. And you've got this perfect meal. And let me tell you, it comes in these really cute cards.
Yes.
One of my favorites was this one called Bibimbap. It's a Korean dish. And it was I ordered this.
I didn't try that one. I want that one now.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Another one was the prosciutto wrapped halibut. That was super delicious. So it comes in these great little cards that they give you all the ingredients, which they include in the box. Totally, you just put it in the refrigerator, as well as the protein wrapped separately. Mm-hmm. And they tell you in 5 or 6 steps how to prepare them. What were some of your favorite dishes that you tried?
I had the Thai chicken satay bowl, which was phenomenal. And we also had the filet mignon, darling. It was so delicious. I felt like I was eating in a restaurant every single night that we made them. And it was so easy to make. And they were all so delicious. Every time the flavors were just so popping, and you just melded together so well, and I really enjoyed it. So Gobble is amazing.
So you want to try it out, because for the next month, you can take advantage of our promo code, and all you have to do, you can get 6 meals. So it's 3 meals. Each meal serves 2 people. And if you're single like me, I got like double the amount of meals, which I love.
Or if you're hungry like me, then
if you're hungry like Kodi, you can double up. But essentially, you're going to get 6 meals, 3 one week, 3 the next week, all for $36. That's like $6 a meal, or $3 a meal, actually, the way it worked out individually. Go to gobble.com/tags636. because it's 6 meals for $36, which is such a steal to try this out. Normal meals are $11.99, but I say try it. They were really great meals, and it comes perfectly packaged. So check that out.
That's right.
We'll be talking about it all month, about different meals we tried, though.
Can't wait.
Check it out. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got to get into hot topics. There's so much to talk about. One of my favorite people that I follow on Twitter now, and I was telling you offline, John Sibilly. He's always in the news these days. You know him from Hacks, as well as Queer as Folk, the reboot. And he just had a birthday. By the way, I follow him on Twitter, Kodi, and he is so provocative in terms, like, he's got a really strong opinion about what's going on, not just about acting or about boys and what he's doing, but political stuff. He has something to say. It's sometimes snarky. It's sometimes relevant and fresh. He's somebody really fun to follow. I say follow him. Well, he just celebrated his birthday. And what did he ask for his Twitter community? He asked Twitter for nudes for his birthday, and they delivered. He said, "It's my birthday and I deserve nudes." And people responded. Did you take a look at the people that shared their nudes, Kodi?
Oh, I looked, honey, and I want to see more and more and more. I cannot wait to go through that thread, okay? Because I need to see all of the nudes.
Yeah, what I think is really refreshing and exciting about it is in 2022, here we have an out gay actor who's killing it in two different Emmy. One of them's an Emmy nominated series, Hacks, and the other one is doing really great. He just keeps winning on so many levels. And we're seeing an out actor have a voice on social media talking about gay stuff. I saw him in another feature on out.com where he talked about preparing for going on a date. And he talked about douching and being clean, as well as, I mean, all kinds of stuff that you would have never seen this 10 years ago of an out gay actor. And then 20 years ago, even an out actor getting the roles that he's getting. What I really love about this is what he asked for his birthday is nudes. And it's a very specific thing to ask for. And he got tons of dick pics is what he was. I'm sure that's what he was craving. And what I would be asking.
Ass pics.
Ass pics too.
I saw the asses, okay?
Yes. But plenty of dick pics. And we're going to be talking about oral tips on giving good oral in a little bit here in another segment. But I think what was really refreshing to me was that, a lot of my female friends don't like to get the dick pics. They are like, really? No, do not send me that. No. I mean, I was just watching Regina Hall on Watch What Happens Live yesterday, and she says she doesn't check her DMs because you can always tell when a dick pic's coming through. I've heard other females, they don't want the dick pics. Don't send. There's probably a small segment that like it, but I think it's really a gay thing, and I think he's celebrating that and putting that out there and teaching that we really aren't necessarily a lot like our straight counterparts, and that's okay, and that should be celebrated.
Exactly. I love that Johnny Sibilly is just being himself, and he is unapologetically gay and asking for dick pics out there. I wish I could accept dick pics. I love dick pics, and I think they're wonderful. Everyone is like a snowflake. They're all beautiful. And I think that, if I could accept them, I would ask for them right now, but I can't accept them. So,
well, honey, I saw plenty of dicks in 3D over the weekend. I forgot to tell you, went back to the nude beach, back to Gunnison Beach. I posted a little picture at TAGSPodcast of me saying goodbye to summer in the ocean. But it was really fun. I met a guy on there who listens to our show, and he said, "I recognize you from the show," which was really good. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'm really going to miss that, but there's always next summer. But big fan of the Naked Beach over at Gunnison. We'll have
Summer's
to go.
Not over yet.
Summer's not over. We could,
it was Labor Day. Yeah.
I think of it that way, but you're right. It's not officially over. Well, also in celebrity news or social media celebrity news, TikToker finds, the social media star James Charles, Kodi?
I've heard of her before. I'm not a fan.
Okay, I am not either, but we got to talk about him. So for those of you who don't know, he really has been a trailblazer in his career because he's famously became CoverGirl's first male ambassador. Charles has also, which was great when that happened, but the controversy started when he was plagued by scandal for years. In early 2021, he was accused by more than a dozen minors of sending them sexually explicit text messages. And that's been documented. You can look that up. Well, apparently he was in London recently, and he was on Grindr. So just to give you a little bit of a comparison, celebrities are just like us often, and particularly the gay celebrities. Bros actor, the upcoming Bros film, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, Luke McFarlane admitted to using Grindr along with other celebrities like Billy Eichner, Adam Rippon, and Davey Wavy. They've all been using the app throughout the years. Well, TikToker believes he found James Charles' Grindr profile. The video posted by user at Hassan_XOXO shows a West London-based profile with a selfie of Charles as the image and James 23 as the screen name and age. Initially, the guy thought the profile was fake and sent them a message saying, "Shut the fuck up. I cannot believe you're catfishing with James Charles Pics." But after checking Charles' Instagram stories, he saw that Charles is currently in London. So he did a little math there.
Sleuthing. There's a little sleuthing going on there. Come on, Nancy Drew.
Is James Charles being catfished? So viewers particularly were bemused by the profile, which James Charles used the tags like bubble butt, gamer, twink, and smooth. And while the bio reads visiting Europe for a week, looking for around my age, no pic, no chat, masculine only. So it's not him. It says looking for around my age, joked one user, referring.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
They can come sit with me.
Yes. Referring to the accusations that he has groomed and flirted and sexted with 16 and 17-year-old boys. Somebody else joked that the Masc only preference. In fact, many people were joking that he was looking for masculine only. I mean, he is allowed to use the app like anybody else. What do you think about the Masc only, though, that irked a lot of people?
I just think that whole crew is kind of problematic. And it falls in line with how kind of toxic and self-absorbed and kind of self-loathing that they can kind of be, because James Charles is not really masculine at all. So the fact that he's looking only for Masc only is kind of in line with how the idea in my mind I have him, because I don't know the man, so I couldn't say whether he is a horrible person or not, but just what social media has portrayed and what has come out about him allegedly.
Right. Well, how would you deal with it? Because if you were on a level of fame, we are getting there because people.
I mean, I'm like, hold up now, boo.
People do recognize
us. Be close, damn it.
In certain crowds, sometimes people recognize us, but I don't use the app, so I don't feel like I'm ever going to really be. I go out more. So that's pretty much how I meet people. I've talked about how I went to speed dating and things. Mm-hmm. The Naked Beach is I met a guy who asked me out on a date. And so what would you be comfortable using an app if you were on a high profile level of being recognized, or would you not use it?
Yeah, why not? I mean, if I was single, I would definitely. Yeah. I would definitely be comfortable using it. I would definitely be able to weed out the kind of guys that were just famed star fuckers, basically. So I would be totally comfortable using it.
Okay. Well, good.
What about you? Would you? I mean,
that's the thing. So I probably won't. I don't use them very much, and I've found recently that meeting people, changing my tune a little bit by going to places like the Naked Beach. I met somebody. Going on speed dating. I've met so many people where I'm about to go on a second date with somebody that I met in speed dating. And I'm really excited to meet up with him a second time. And there's definite chemistry. He lives in Long Island, so I'm going to meet him out there and that's maybe see his house, and who knows? I don't know.
The bedroom? Are you going to see the bedroom?
I don't know, but we made out already, and so I feel like we're going to go the next phase of this all. But we're going to spend the day together, and I'm really excited about it. And So for me, that's how I meet people in person and putting myself out of my comfort zone, which I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
But the
Well,
apps are for everybody. So
absolutely.
I ran into Billy Eichner on Tinder one time, and I swiped right on him, and he didn't swipe right on me.
Really? Okay.
I'm not bitter.
He's in the news right now. I was going to skip this story, but since you brought him up, do you want to talk about that story real quick?
Sure.
So he's being called out a little bit. Everybody knows Billy Eichner has the brand new film coming out. I believe it's September 29th, Bros. It's it is the first major studio-backed LGBTQ film that has an entire LGBTQ cast, and he really wants everybody to see it. So I will see it for sure. Well, he's been called out recently when he was at the VMAs because it's particularly by Joel Kim Booster, and you'll remember Joel Kim Booster because he has the popular film Fire Island that came out over the summer that was on Hulu. Was it on Hulu? Or yes, exactly.
It was on Hulu.
You're right. And so Eichner is currently promoting the film, like we said, but talking to Variety, he called the theatrical release historic compared to, quote, his words, some streaming thing which feels disposable or which is like one of a million Netflix shows. So that didn't really sit well with a lot of listeners readers
fighting words
of it. Joel Kim Booster, by the way, was out in the desert, didn't have a phone access at the time. By the way, just a little background story on them. They've worked together. Joel and Billy have worked together in the past, and they're actually considered friends. So, but that being said, Joel took a little umbrage to the shit talking, and particularly with his own project, as I would, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would be totally offended.
Yeah, exactly. He said that Booster. He said it seems like Billy was pretty inarticulate in his excitement about his movie getting a theatrical release, which is really fucking cool and something I'm sure the studio and his publicist is making him constantly talk about. God knows I've said plenty of dumb shit without a publicist's help. So I like that. Booster continued. Nice. I'm so proud of my movie, meaning Fire Island, and all the people who helped make it happen. And I'm so grateful it was accessible to so many people on streaming and don't see it as any less valuable because of that. I would also add to the fact that it featured a very diverse cast, which is really key, mainly written by Joel himself and an Asian gay actor, which is really monumental, I think. He also didn't run around promoting it and probably didn't get the press that Billy did. But no, I loved the movie. I know you loved it, Kodi, as did so many people. He continued saying, that being said, I am also excited to see Bros on the big screen and wish Billy nothing but the best. And I truly hope you can enjoy both or neither of our movies, I like that, without pitting them against each other, even though that is obviously a very fun thing to do and basically what gay Twitter was created for. He concluded with saying, I've spoken to Billy and we're cool, and I'm way too busy reading my 769 unread text messages and writing jokes about Burning Man to focus on this, so that's a wrap for me. Thank you, everyone, for being supportive, and that's really cool. And Billy did come back on and apologize. He said, I want to clarify what I said about streaming content in Variety. I was not at all referring to the quality or monumental impact of streaming films. I was referring to the way that historically LGBTQ plus content has often been considered niche and disregarded by Hollywood. So, no, I like that, right? What are your thoughts?
That he can apologize. Yeah. I'm just glad
and just maybe spoke in his excitement and misspoke.
We always do. I always do that. I don't know about you, but sometimes I regret some things that I say. I don't fully think things out. And I'm glad that Joel said something, and I'm glad that Billy came back and apologized and kind of clarified where he was actually coming from. yeah, I totally forgive Billy Eichner, and even for not swiping right on me. Did I bring that up?
You know what? I'm glad that he did not swipe right on you, because you would have never met Joe.
Oh, you're right. Oh, okay.
And
I was like, where is he going with this?
You no longer have to go and worry about people seeing you on these platforms anymore, because you are booed up. And no one's worried about you now because you are settled. So, yeah.
Nobody.
So we are not worried about you. We're happy for you. How's that?
Thank you. I don't know. Was that a
compliment? It's a backhanded one. No, it's a definite compliment.
But one more thing. I kind of have to disagree with what Billy Eichner said about a lot of gay content on streaming being disposable, because we have RuPaul's All-Stars on Paramount Plus. We have The Boys in the Band on Netflix. We have Uncoupled. Queer as Folk. We have Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. There's so much, and there's so much that are streaming and have won awards. So I just think that he was kind of speaking and talking about a specific genre of a film. I'm not going to name any names, but probably that horrible holiday movie that came out on Netflix.
Yeah, you know what? You bring up a really good point, because nowadays, not only that, there are podcasts out there that are, when we started this show 5 years ago, there was really a couple of us out there, not many. Now there's so many LGBTQ plus podcasts out there that people can get content, and all of it's valid and shapes and really contributes to the community. So yes. I think you're right. I know he is super excited, and this is monumental to be one of the first. Whenever you're one of the first, I would think Joel Kim to have this, to be one of the first Asian gay actors to write a film and have it on a streaming platform is equally monumental as well. He wants Eichner, everybody, to see this film, and we will go and see it. Better be damn good, though, for all this drama that we keep hearing about it, and for him pounding it in our heads that we got to see it. But it better be damn good. I'm sure it is. But
I'm sure it is. Yeah, and his cast, Billy Eichner's cast, is pretty diverse as well. So he's got T.S. Madison in there, and I'm just going to see it for her.
Okay. We'll do a movie night, and let's all go see it. What is people saying before we move on? Because we are live.
Yes, we are. Alan W. says he's commenting about you going to Long Island. Steve, he said Steve is going suburban on Long Island. He hopes that it's 100% Gold Coast. I don't know what that means exactly, but it must be good Gold Coast. I hope that your date goes well. I think I'm going to take it as that. Alan W. says, speaking of movies, I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. I can see how Kodi liked it. And Steve liked it as well, as he likes those superhero flicks. But I'm surprised. Oh, he goes on to say, I'm surprised Steve liked it, as we usually like the same movies. It was not his type of film. I left after the fingers turned into hot dog seats. That was so great. What are you talking about?
I didn't think of it as a superhero film, though, to me. I thought of it as, once again, this female character that is not seen as a main character that is ruling this film, and it was so bizarre. It was mind-bending,
abstract,
and I decided to go on the roller coaster of the film, and I was just living for it. I think I just let go, and I didn't think of it though as a superhero though. Was it supposed to be one, or?
I think I'm rubbing off on you. That's what I just said.
Some things I do like, yes. Depends on it. You are at times, absolutely.
We're going to see X-Men when
Oh, let's not get crazy. But let's move on. Hey guys, your buddy Stevie here, and I'm super excited to tell you about a brand new meal delivery service plan called Gobble that Kodi, myself, Kodi's boyfriend Joe have all been taking advantage of for the last couple of weeks. Some of my favorite meals have included beef bulgogi bibimbap, prosciutto wrapped halibut with broccolini and Italian salsa verde, and Peruvian style filet mignon. All super delicious. So here's the deal. Gobble delivers gourmet, freshly prepped, 15-minute meal kits right to your doorstep. And when I say they take 15 minutes, they give you everything you need, and the meal is on your dinner table in 15 minutes. They're chef-designed meals, super easy to prepare, with simple recipes and fresh ingredients that have been chopped, portioned, and simmered so that dinner is both fast and flavorful. Gobble combines the convenience of takeout with the health, satisfaction, and freshness of a home-cooked meal. So whether you're looking for global cuisine, protein personalization, low-calorie options, comfort classics, vegetarian recipes, or even kid-friendly meals, we've got you covered. Members can choose between 2-person or 4-person plans, as well as select the classic or lean and clean plans, depending on their meal preferences, and meals start about $11.99 per serving. But for you guys being Tags listeners, I have got a deal for you. Simply visit gobble.com/tags636 to get your first 6 Gobble meals for just $36. An unbelievable offer. You've got to do this. Again, it's gobble.com/tags636. Instagram has suspended Pornhub's Instagram account. That's right. Instagram suspended Pornhub's widely followed account on the social platform. Before the sex site's account was removed from Instagram, Pornhub had 13.1 million followers and more than 6,200 posts. Well, reps for Meta, Instagram's parent company, did not respond to a request for comment. The move comes 1 month after Visa and MasterCard cut off payment privileges of Traffic Junkie. This is the advertising arm of Pornhub's parent company, MindGeek. And that followed a federal court ruling in July rejecting Visa's request to be removed from a case in which MindGeek is being sued for allegedly distributing child pornography, and that alleges Visa knowingly facilitated MindGeek's ability to monetize the illegal content. But that's all alleged. We all know that Pornhub has plenty of other content on there and plenty of their profiles on there. Many of them have OnlyFans accounts. I use Pornhub weekly. I'm sure you do too. On its Instagram account, Pornhub shared non-pornographic videos and images. So it's not like they were showing pornography on the social media platform. However, it had directly promoted pornography and feathered videos like Next Career Goal, encouraging people to become pornography performers, according to Dawn Hawkins. She is the CEO of the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. Mm-hmm. They have been huge advocates and have lobbied Instagram to remove Pornhub. But this screams to me of the Christian far right of wanting to remove and continuously demonize anything that is left of center or that is sex positive. I think if you have kids, if I had kids, I would be looking at their social media accounts and saying what they can and cannot be looking at. I think this is really a parental control thing. By the way, like we said, it's not like they were ever promoting showing pornography. You would get taken down for that. This has more to do with pressure and the allegations, I think, from Visa and MasterCard. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, sex work is work, and I don't think we should be shaming people that are in the sex work industry for being pornographic stars, for whatever they do in the sex work genre or field. And if I agree with you that if Pornhub wasn't sharing pornographic material, why the hell are we concerned about Instagram and about their Instagram page? It seems to me that Instagram is focused on the wrong thing, as I still see hate speech and misinformation and fear-mongering on their site daily. Like, it's all the time. So I don't understand why they are focusing on Pornhub and this non-pornographic material.
Yeah, I agree. And don't you think, or do you think it's a larger conversation that's happening currently in our country about the right just infiltrating the country and really trying to divide us more? For example, in Texas, you may have heard this story. Anti-gay Texas judge says that PrEP coverage violates religious freedom. So the district judge in Texas ruled Wednesday that requiring insurance companies to cover medication to prevent HIV transmission, also known as PrEP, is a violation of religious rights. And that just happened the other day in Texas. And so we are actually seeing this, Kodi, happen where now it's Meta is getting pressure from companies like the Christian far right and taking down things like Pornhub, even though they're not really violating any. I mean, I see ass pics up on there. I was so cautious about posting my partial nude ass in the ocean, and I see ass pics left and right all over the place. Pornhub, just for what they stand for, Instagram's getting all this pressure. So Meta, the parent company, I think pulled them off because of the allegations. But let them go to court first before you remove them from the site. That just speaks that you're letting the far right dictate their agenda right now. Then you have, I mean, in Texas, who would ever, sorry, Texas, but it's not very cool to be a Texan right now when abortions, I mean, there's story after story. We knew this was going to happen when they overturned Roe versus Wade. And I've seen stories on the news all the time, horrible, horrific stories. But now we're moving into the territory of LGBTQ rights. And now they want to take away our PrEP coverage. That's just ridiculous. Which, by the way, if you take that away and somebody gets HIV in Texas, I would imagine the medication to cover HIV and to have your blood work checked every time is the pricing far exceeds that if you just gave them a preventative medication, one pill a day.
I agree. Yes, I agree with you 100%. I don't understand this line of thinking. This is healthcare. It's a social benefit for all of the community. It's about health. It's not about religion. It's absurd. I don't understand how they can intertwine those two things. It's supposed to be separation of church and state at the end of the day. And I think people are 100% misunderstanding that and not really grasping that, because your values and how you think about your God and your religion should not affect me in my life and the community and all of the United States as a whole. Because it affects everybody, and PrEP is not just for men or transgender women; it's for everybody. Anybody can get HIV, and this is to protect us as people in America.
And look how far we've come. This is scientifically proven to prevent, 99% prevent HIV and AIDS, an epidemic that we fought so long and hard to overcome, to get to a point now where people can live with U equals U.
Yes.
And now we can prevent it with drugs like Truvada. This is just happening. Christianity has always been around, whether we're talking about the 80s or now. It's just interesting now that it's all coming up now because we're in a divisive country right now. And
is it all coming back to you now?
It's all coming back to me now.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Continue your thought. I really apologize.
No, but that's all. Just I was going to say that. What's people saying before we move on?
People are saying that about the Instagram that they should have an age verification algorithm. And I said that is so smart. And I think that they should probably implement that. And that will alleviate so many problems that are going on. Jay says also that it's kind of easy for 14-year-olds to see booty on an Instagram feed separate. So, I mean, I agree with that. It screams of, antiquated ideas about sex and things of that nature and shaming. And Jace also says, it's so sad to hear that all of this is in Texas. And Alan W. also says that the idea that any judge would take away medication that would help someone stay healthy is outrageous. If the doctor is religious, then they should not play God.
Oh, all great comments.
Hey, girl. Hey, yes.
Hey, all right. Absolutely. Well, this is not over. We will continue to discuss and report on what's going on. We've got to move on, though, to, last week we were talking about eating ass, right? About a guy. Do you remember we had that whole discussion?
Oh, I loved every second.
Yeah. We were talking about sex-positive writer and blogger Alexander Shivas, who wrote a great article. I posted it on TAGSPodcast. He is back, but this week he's talking about giving head tips. So we're going to talk all about oral sex in just a second here. But before we do, one of our listeners who I love, Sinfully Good, who listens to us, wanted to comment on last week's convo. He wrote, "My friends and I have a thing that we believe in doing before putting your tongue and or dick in someone's hole. We call it, quote, the swipe and sniff. Just do a quick little swipe and then sniff. If things don't smell up to par, you know not to go down that road. It's a good, discreet way to avoid any uncomfortable situations for all parties involved." That's an excellent. I do this. What is it called? Swipe and sniff on myself. It's
a self-test also.
It's a self-test tactic you can do for yourself. Do a swipe and sniff to him. Like, am I really that good? I know I did all. I took the freaking Pure. I douched. I did all of that. But let me just swipe and sniff because it's been a minute since I've been at the club. And let me just check it out. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea, and me and my boyfriend like to take showers together, so I kind of don't have to implement that. But if ever in need, if we're ever out and about in the world, then I'm going to be swiping and sniffing, darling.
I love it. Well, Alexander Shivas is back, and last time it was 21 rimming tips everyone should know. Now it's 24 oral sex tips. Because less partners doesn't need to mean less fun. I like that. And he's responding to the whole monkeypox and having less partners. And I appreciate that in these times. Let's just go through a few of them and then we'll discuss. So coming in at number 1, don't rush. Take your time. Well, I like that too. There's so much you can do to get comfortable and excited before the clothes come off. Kissing and touching. Absolutely. That's a great number 1 tip. Foreplay is really, really awesome. Quote, I tell everyone to maximize foreplay. I also have some issues with the term foreplay. Generally describes acts that arouse and titillate you and your partner prior to some kind of penetrative sex. Some sex acts, blowjobs included, are often relegated in this category as if they are lesser sexual experiences than penetration. Here's a fact. Yeah. Some people can't have penetrative sex. Various bodily conditions render some unable to, and for others, penetration simply isn't pleasurable and may never be. Sometimes the stuff we call foreplay is simply more fun. I like that. So stop calling it warm-up sex, I think is his whole point, and maybe just maximize it depending on what's going on. Get into blowjob headspace ahead of time. This one really resonated with me, Kodi.
Yeah.
Get into blowjob headspace for many reasons. Partly because I think there's a lot of pressure associated for me personally. I'll read what he said in a second. I think there can be pressure on, I need to make that person ejaculate and come. I need to make sure they're really enjoying it. I need to spend a certain amount of time that neither one of us have agreed upon, but that I feel I need to be down there. I also feel like it's work. When he says some really good things in these 24 oral tips, like there's no time limit. Do it make sure it's fun for you as the person
Exactly.
giving the blowjob as well as the person, and it really should be fun for you. So what he says in this number 3, get into blowjob headspace, is it is an old truth that the best head givers are ones who move on a mission. There is no what do you want to do foreplay debate. You're there to suck. You're in the mental position to give head. You've gotten yourself into headspace before you started. You've been eyeing his bulge and you want it. If I am not into blowjob headspace prior to starting, I'm probably not going to enjoy it or do a very good job. His pleasure starts with me. I have to be having a good time in order for him to have a good time as well. So you got to prepare yourself. Part of my preparation is he says things like, I want my mouth to be clean and fully digested from my last meal. Don't be doing it after that lasagna meal you just had is what I'm adding to the mix here, which I think is really good. I don't have my gag reflex isn't really good. So I have to really concentrate and focus and go, and take my time with it. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think that's a great tip to have. I'm not as good a blowjob giver as my boyfriend is, so I reached out. I phoned a friend.
Okay.
And he definitely agrees with that. And I think that there were some great tips that came out especially about using your tongue. And
yes, that's one of the tips. So tell us about that one.
I personally, and this is something that I've already implemented. I love to make sure that I use my tongue and make sure that I get all around the penis. I can read to you exactly what it says here. I got to scroll back up, girl. Hold on one second.
Is this from your friend?
No, this is from the 24 Oral Sex.
Okay.
He says, you may be limited to how well you lick his dick once inside your mouth. The size of his dick and the size of your mouth will determine how much you can do. A larger dick, like mine, will make you less able to maneuver. You like how I slipped that in?
I do. Piggy bitch.
Will make you less able to maneuver your tongue around it. That's okay. Your tongue is still important. Licking his head, shaft, balls, and taint. You just lick everywhere down there, girl. Use the spit as your saliva as well. And the space of skin between his whole testicles can be just as intense. And I totally, totally agree. And so does my boyfriend.
Yeah. One of the ones that coincides with that is you need to pay attention to how his dick behaves. So
yes.
I think it's, you got to pay attention to what's going on, what he's responding to. Remember, blowjobs are for your pleasure above all else.
That was a good one.
This is really a good one.
Yeah, that's something that I hadn't kind of absorbed yet, and so that's good to reflect on.
Let me read this, and then let's discuss this a little bit. All sex is for your pleasure, even submissive sex in which someone takes over. Good sex is about doing what feels good for you, and for some people, that means surrendering control. So don't frame sucking dick in your mind as something you're solely doing for him. If you see it that way, you won't enjoy it, and neither will he. This is your chance to intimately enjoy his dick when it's in your butt. You're not able to feel every part of his penis. You don't have the same nerves in your ass as you do in your mouth. In your mouth, you can feel every vein, texture, throb, all of it. So relish it in the experience of it, and only go for as long as you want. A good blowjob is as much about getting what you want as it is for him. That alone, that tip, I think it's number 6. I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com so you can review in your own company in time. Really spoke to me the most, and I think resonated with me the most, because I think he talked a lot about giving head and the difference between, say, 69, and it always sounds fun, but it can be really uncomfortable and not practical.
I hate 69.
Yeah. and he likened it to, we all see porn movies where you see that, and it seems like we want to replicate that, but they are making a movie with lights, camera, action. You are not currently, even though you might think you're the star of your own love story, and that's perfectly fine. I do always. But the fact remains is that this is your pleasure, your time. It shouldn't be a job. And he almost likens to the fact that we should get rid of the term blow job as what it insinuates, a job. It's not a job. It's your pleasure. Only do it as long as you like, and really explore it, which I think is really nice. And do it only as long as you like doing it, and refrain from laboriously spending 30 minutes on it.
Because if you're not into it, then the other person is going to be able to sense that.
Hell?
Yeah. If you don't love yourself,
if you don't love your blowjob, yeah, you're gonna love it.
Exactly. So, Steve, I'm going to ask you, what are some personal tips that are not on this list that you have for blowjob giving?
One that comes to mind immediately, because I don't have the greatest gag. How do you say that? If I gag a lot, what does that mean? I don't have a good gag.
You don't have the greatest. Yeah, you don't have the.
But I love sucking a beautiful dick. So one of my tips is that, because I do a lot of breath work in general, and I work with breath, it's helped me through a lot of things. I meditate, is breath. So I take deep breaths before I'm going to, and that helps me open up that throat area and be able to go a little bit deeper into the throat through breath work. And I can actually relax my throat much more and go deeper into it. Also, another tip beyond that is looking up periodically and seeing how they're responding. I think many times we focus so much on this, not the mic, but
on the dick.
On the dick. We need to see how their body's responding. So I would say, have your eyes wander up, make eye contact, because that's only going to make the experience that much hotter. Those are some of my tips that I'm adding to the conversation. What are people saying?
People are saying the idea. I already read that one. Sorry. Alan W says deep throat is awesome, but so is some serious tongue and lip work on the tip. I agree. And Xavier says Lincoln's breathing techniques help. This is not a sponsored comment, but I mean, hey, a good plug is a good plug, honey. Yeah. One tip that I kind of want to share is, if you put some ice in your mouth, then it can open up a whole world of sensation when you're giving a blowjob too.
Really? Naturally, almost.
Oh, yes, queen. Oh, yes.
So it numbs the mouth a little bit?
No, not for you, not for the blowjob giver, but for the recipient of the blowjob.
It's not too cold?
A little bit. It's amazing.
What if you had some lemon?
Lemon with sting, girl.
I had lemon to all my. I was thinking about my gobble meal, and I had some lemon to it. It was really good, by the way. Got it. I love it.
You ain't getting no dates now, queen, because you put that out there into the world.
The dates are in the books, in the calendar, and they are locked in. So moving on, let's do one Reddit thread, and I want you to pick the one that we do before we get to Thirst Trap.
I want to do the one that you said that you really like. I forget. I think it's the one fellow bro.
Or should we just do the one, because it's like we took long on the other one? What would you describe as your perfect size?
Oh yeah, let's do that one, because we have an addendum on it
I think it works with this. Yeah. So a recent Reddit threader who goes by Rainbow Cake 13. I like that. What would you describe as your perfect size? I'm curious. What would you describe as your perfect size penis? Either a size you wish you had yourself, or you would want your partner to have. I wonder, because I feel like the whole notion of the bigger the better has kind of faded away, and a more average size is preferred. I guess in my case, I love the look of a big dick, but for practical purposes, I would much prefer something average around the 6-inch mark. What is your preference if you could describe the perfect dick? So I'm going to tackle this really quickly on my end because
I'm going to tackle the perfect dick really quick. I've heard that about you.
I'm going to tackle it. And after coming off of the naked beach over the last couple of weeks and seeing all kinds of dicks in their 3D beauty and seeing just people freely, including myself, walking around, and I had several discussions with my friend in the several weeks about being naked, what it means to be naked, what it means to be of a certain size or not to be of a certain size. And we really kind of broke it down. And in those couple of weeks, we really got comfortable with being naked, and it's all good and everything. I used to think of myself as a size queen, and I still appreciate when I'm scrolling through things, appreciate that huge dick and want to fantasize about that. But I've had such great sex over the years and over the weekend looking at various sizes of penises. I'll call them penises because they were in their soft state. That
I thought that word was banned, though.
Well, it is banned.
You better say cocks.
I brought it cocks, dicks. That I think that if you really know what you're doing, you can really please somebody. And I think when you are into somebody, you're into their dick, and you can make anything work. So I kind of agree with this person. He says the whole average size, I think, is, I don't really care so much anymore about what that person has. If I'm into you, I'm into you. Yes, I can fantasize about a big dick, but let's be honest, if somebody has a huge dick, and I wouldn't complain, I've been with somebody that had a huge dick and we were dating, it's that much more preparation that you have to consider before you are always ready. And you times that by 3 times a week, 2 times a day. You do the math on how much time you need to be prepped for sex. I'm just doing my sex math. That's a lot of being prepped. I calculate that on the phone. You know me, I'm early now. I calculate the sex math. I am prepared and ready to go. If it's that big, I've got that much more preparation to do.
Hours, you spend hours on
back to our sponsor. It's 15 minutes to get this prepped and ready to go to eat. All I'm saying is we got less time these days. You got to do the math that works for you. Gobble.com, tags 636.
You're silly, and I love every second of it. I'm gonna go with the because I have
number 3. Go with number 3, bitch.
I have the perfect boyfriend dick, so it's a you know.
Of
I'm
course,
not
you have to say that. Be honest.
I've had other people say it before too, so it's not just me. It's not too big. It's not too small. How about that? Because too big, like you mentioned, it can run. You can run into extra steps that you have to take in order to have sex, and too small is just for some people too small. So I agree with you, and I agree with you can make anything work in life, and for a partner and anybody that I'm looking to have sex with, it doesn't matter as long as it's not too big or too small. And that's my last word on that.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, I've really come to that conclusion that you can make anything work. I've been, like I said, the really large dick, but my first boyfriend, a couple of my early boyfriends had very small penises.
Oh, really?
Dicks. They did. And I was so into them. We had great sex. I had amazing orgasms. I was so into them, and it didn't really. So yes, I think we all have sort of these fantasies on what we like, but when you get somebody that you're connected to, that is far more enriching and sexually satisfying than you could be with somebody that has a huge dick, but you're not really chemically working. And then what? So you make it work, people. Make it work in the name of RuPaul. Well, all right. Well, we've got our final segment, our favorite segment, Thirst Trap Thursday. When this comes out, I'll post this on Tags Podcast. We take note from Straight Up Gay Porn when they do their weekly who took the best, which porn star took the best shot or video of the week. And this week, my goodness, 30 gay porn stars. It was almost too many, and there was, but I'm not mad at it because it was a great
I was happy.
Yeah, because weren't we kind of
disappointed last week?
Yeah, it was end of summer and kind of now I think, yes, summer's not over, Kodi, but I still feel like once Labor Day's over, I am cranking out fall. I'm moving on. We have a whole new
thirst traps.
And it's the new season practically. We're halfway through our 5-year anniversary, I would say, at this point. So it's befitting that we would have 30 gay porn stars and ask the question, who took the best pic or video? Who was yours, Kodi?
So, like we said, there are 30, and 90% of them were super hot. I was so happy. I can't name all of them, so I'm just going to go right to my favorite, and he was Lucas Diaz. He's closer to the end. He's probably
honey.
Second to last. He is
on my runner-up.
He's in a bedroom with nothing but a baseball cap and his beautiful bedroom eyes and a smile. And he's covered in tattoos, and he has a scar on his chest. He looks like rough trade, and I am here to be used and abused. No, I'm not. But most importantly, the bed is made behind him, so that is what put him.
Oh yes, we're very picky about what we see in the background images. Yes, absolutely. Well, mine, of course, not of course. Actually, my pick was a duo. In a video, Sammy Fitness with Ruggery V, and
hot.
The quote is, he wanted to stretch my hole at Ruggery V, and he did. And it's one of my favorite sex positions ever, where the guy is sitting back, the top, with his dick up, and the bottom is on top of him, facing the camera. So both faces are, and the bottom is getting pounded, jumping up and down on the cock, but then turns around and kisses his boy throughout the fucking. And to me, that's one of the hottest things you can ever do. If you do it in front of a mirror, you get to see the whole, both of you get to take it in. But I love the kissing too, because oftentimes in porn, you don't get that sort of, I don't want to, dare I use the word romantic? No. That hot sexual moment of a kiss and a makeout session when you're fucking, to me, is really sexy hot. And I love that position anyway for gay sex. So it's one of my favorites. So it's on the agenda for this year.
All right, now. Get into it.
What are people saying before we close out the show?
James Hart says, Lucas Diaz, uncut tattoos and those lips, que rico. And I agree with him. And Xavier says, K ecstatic, glittering sweat, and perfect boyfriend dick. And I was looking for him right now. I don't know exactly.
Perfect boyfriend dick. That means you got to take that dick every day, 3 times a day. And my math calculates to, well, we already did my math. Okay, I won't repeat myself.
We're about to give your math to my boyfriend.
Okay, I know. I guess is my math a lot?
3 times a day.
Wow.
Oh, yes, I saw K ecstatic. And he's so sweet too. He says good morning to the people. Completely naked and swinging that big dick. I was like, oh, amazing. He's so nice.
Who needs coffee when you have that swinging in your face? All right. Well, thank you so much.
The best part of waking up, honey.
The best part of waking. I am silly today. It's the fall. It's
totally fine.
It's our half-year mark. I'm very excited. We want to thank our virtual audience for watching us on our new platform, vocal.com. You can too. Go to tagspodcast.com for show notes and everything Tags Podcast. You can follow Kodi Maurice Doggette. He's a life coach, probably taking some new clients this fall.
Always,
School's
darling.
back in session. Follow him on Instagram at KMD Coaching, KMD Coaching, or his personal account, Mr. Maurice. And for crying out loud, follow us on all social media platforms at TAGSPodcast, at TAGSPodcast. Thanks, guys. So much fun. And in the meantime, we are back, by the way, with all new shows next week on Tuesday. And of course, Tags Live next Wednesday live. Continue having hot, gay
sex.